hair, white skinned, white everything, and even their eyes were like almost colorless gray, like not even blue, like colorless. And like that was the only way they could become embodied in like a human-like form.
Can you ask, is there any connection between the Anunnaki and the Arcturians?
There's Arcturian energy within the Anunnaki, but they're not like exclusively of that zone. So if you could imagine like star beings from multiple, I'll use the term galaxies, and frequencies and vibrations and consciousnesses come together because their consciousnesses align in a way that they feel that they can advance together. Part of that need for advancement was the requirement of several different essential elements, one of which was gold. Another, interestingly enough, was also coal.
Was it the carbon in the coal?
Yes. And so when they came to Earth, the plan was to access these and kind of leave things as untouched as possible. However, as much as they wanted to leave things as untouched as possible, they recognized that in order to like literally not frighten those humans that were on the planet, they needed to not only be able to be seen and accepted, but also interacted with in a way that would allow them to access the resources that they needed in a faster way, which meant that they then had to advance. Oh, this is interesting. Advance the society quickly, and therefore they bred. It's a funny word. They bred with human beings, and in breeding with human beings, they didn't, like I said, they didn't consider that their frequency would be too high for the human being to be able to genetically blend. So what happened was that it created very, very physically large bodies with very, very low vibrations in them. So they were less advanced humans cognitively and consciously, but more advanced humans physically, and therefore could perform very incredible feats. And those incredible feats included things like mining great distances for great volumes of resources, and also helping to build some very essential energy centers around the planet.
It's been thought that the Anunnaki built the pyramids, and a lot of the pyramids around the world. Are those the energy centers which they're talking about?
That's what I'm seeing, but they are not. I see pyramids, and it's so strange because it's almost like Lego. Like superhuman feats from superhuman beings that were almost so, I want to say deficited, that's such a weird word, but so deficited that they were almost like animals. Like they needed to become extinct. They could not let them breed. They needed to use them accordingly and actively and for a short time, and realize the damage that it actually caused, but served an important purpose. And so when they let Nephilim, is that what they are?
Nephilim?
Nephilim?
Or some Nephilim is what I've heard them called, but maybe it's pronounced differently.
The babies, that's what they're just calling me, the babies, which is kind of ironic because they were like so gigantic. But when they let the babies, or when they realized that the babies needed to be eradicated for the well-being of human beings, they also realized that they needed to come back in various forms over time to, I don't want to say undo the damage that they did, but to like make right their wrongs.
Can I ask, were some of these Anunnaki that returned worshipped as gods?
I see two, but I like, so I guess yes, I see two. I don't have names. Oh, both are women. One is like enchanting and I don't know. One is very third eye focused. That's the only way I can describe it. One is very third eye focused. And she's really beautiful. And then the other one is all seeing. That's the only way I can describe it. She was identified as a she, but she was like known as for being all seeing. Like almost like she was always tapped into a bird's eye view of everything. But I don't know if they were idolized, if they were seen as gods necessarily, or goddesses or leaders, but they were very, very influential because of their innate wisdom.
Okay. Can I ask, are any Anunnaki part of the 300?
Potentially. Right, because the 300 is always a revolving, like it's always a, like, so like right now they're saying we are a collective, right? We are all. So right now, yes, the Anunnaki are a part of this collective because of the channeled message that started to come in earlier.
So the channeled message said the Anunnaki are providing the guidance or something?
They are a guiding light.
A guiding light, okay.
It is what it was, and they are a guiding light. And so the message that I got was they are a guiding light because, and it like that all that I got initially was they are a guiding light because they have returned or arrived at various times through and various timelines through what we call history, following the babies. They felt that they had a responsibility to return to be an additional guiding light, not to repair what was done, but to continue to help advance the world forward. So I don't even know what a fucking disciple is, okay? But what I do know is that among the disciples, there were these guiding lights, which could be called the Anunnaki.
So are they giving this message now because they are in the process of guiding us once again?
I think, okay, so I sense that they are preparing to return. Okay, so I'm getting something very strange. That there's a misunderstanding in the world around Arianism, that level of purity actually equates with being a guiding light. And it's tied to like the original story, but it's almost like lost in the DNA. Like there's like people aren't consciously tied to it, which is why then people are being misled, right? And so there's a darkness. There are pockets. There isn't a darkness. There are pockets of darkness around the world where energetically it's as if there are giant babies. And so it's time for them to return, and this time they'll return in a different form. Yeah.
So can they give any indication of timeline according to Earth timeline? Our Earth understanding of time?
Depending upon the independent choices that are made and then the timelines that shift moving forward, obviously. Like 3 to 5 years. And they will not, 3 to 5 years. And what will be interesting is that they will present almost as if, like, it's not like in 3 to 5 years they're going to be born. They are going to be embodied by humans who are already here and on the path in that direction already. They just aren't aware that they're on that path yet.
Okay.
And so it will be that the Anunnaki embody them and therefore can be a more acceptable guiding light to again bump timeline and vibration. So they're part of the process. But they are not the process.
So, embodying other people, does that mean that they're going to tap into them in the sense of being channeled through them? Or is it that they are going to embody their meat suit, basically?
Well, to embody their meat suit would seem like possession. And it isn't possession at all. It's like these beings have been on this evolutionary journey of, we're going to call it self-growth, but then all of a sudden it's like...
I think I understand it. It kind of came to me. Basically, these beings are part of these Anunnaki already. They're like fragments of those soul fragments.
Right.
And that they're just going to increasingly embody within those individuals.
Right. It's like turning up the volume on it.
Yeah. Because they're already part of those individuals. They're just going to gain awareness of their connection more so. But they're already on the path.
Right. And so they then become part of the light army, right? But keep in mind...
Did they use the term light army? Or did you use that?
No, that's their words. That's not mine. That's what they said was light army. And then they also said that... they said light army. And they also say that it also takes an acceptance on the part of the humanness to drop ego enough to be able to accept that.
But we're part of creating that light army too, I think.
Yes. Well, and the light army is...
It's a big...
Right, and they're
endeavor.
they're finding us. Like, that's, I think that if there's a message to us as a trifecta, it's that the light is begetting light, and that they're just finding us. Like, we don't have to find them, they're finding us.
That's good. Really interesting. No.
I don't know what any of it really means.
Well, I know, but that's what makes it even more credible. Because you don't have any of this background.
I don't research any of this shit.